Good evening. It's Peter in the music room. How you going? It's here to the Beatles Vinyl Tag for 2026. 20. It's 10 questions with an option of 5, but I'm actually going to do 12. The option of 5, I think you can actually swap them out if you don't want to do a couple of questions. So I thought I'd have a crack at it, and a couple of people are expecting me to anyway. Hi to Patricia out there, for example, in Little Beatle Corner. Hope you're keeping well. I'm at the moment laid up with a broken leg. I'm going under the knife on Friday, so I'm doing this sitting down in a location that I ordinarily wouldn't do, but there's Beatle stuff behind me that you can probably see, so the scenery is fairly appropriate. And I've got my dog sleeping behind me, Wanda. Say hello. There she is. Okay. Anyway, before I do this, I want to do a shout out to Melinda Murphy. I saw a video this morning where she revealed she'd been in a serious car accident with her husband back in December. Just want to wish her all the best for her recovery. I know they've been through a rather traumatic thing. The photo of the car looked pretty horrific that they got out of it. It's a miracle. So all the best to you, Melinda. Wish you a happy New Year, a belated happy Christmas. Hope you and Phil recover well and quickly, okay? But take it easy as you go, okay, Dale? Alright, so here I'll get into it now, okay then? So, 15 questions. Shall I talk about my favourite Beatle acquisition for the year? Well, I only had a couple, but I'm going to talk about, I'm going to assume it's Beatle and related. So I mean solo as well. So I'm going to mention Wings, the Wings box set that came out this year, to 3LP. 3LP plus a booklet. Quite a nice set, quite a good track listing as well. Nicely produced. I quite like it actually, and it sounds quite normal, quite good. This is the dark cover, as you can see. The track listing is quite nice. Kind of a little bit all over the place in the way it's assembled, but it's quite good otherwise. This is the black vinyl version. I didn't get the coloured vinyl on this one, but this is quite a nice set, so I quite liked it. So yeah, that's the Wings box set. Second question will be to show an Apple record release but not Beatles or solo. And I'm going to go with Badfinger. Badfinger, that's a straight up album. That's an Australian press on the Apple label, like so. You can see that. Okay. This got Baby Blue on it, and it's also got Day After Day as well. Quite a great album. Mostly produced by Todd Rundgren. George Harrison produced a couple of tracks on here too. They produced I Die Babe, and he produced Day After Day and Suitcase. At the back over there. Okay. Not sure if it's any different to the UK release or the American release. That's always one. But that's quite a nice one. That's the Badfinger LP. That's straight up. Okay, I'm going to put that over here. Okay. Third question is a favourite Beatle lyric and the album it comes from. I'm going to show you a favourite Beatle lyric I've got here is actually The Inner Light, which is a B-side single, wasn't an A-side, and I've got here, organised. It was originally a B-side for Lady Madonna. Let me grab all these. So I've got here, could be better organised here, sorry guys. So that's the UK Inner Light B-side for Lady Madonna there. That one there. That's the original UK. That's the Australian. That's How I Knew It. Right. I found myself playing this side of the 45 quite a lot. And for an Indian flavoured single, I would have been 68, would have been 11 years old at the time. when that came out. I took to it, quite liked it. Not that I really understood it, but really quite nice. Later we on it, that's the New Zealand 45. And finally, I've got the US one as well. That's the, I'll show you the B-side there. That's the Capital Spoil US version. Okay, so they're all the same, pretty much. But the lyric here, I quite like. Without going up my door, I can know all the things on earth. Without looking out my window, I can know the ways of heaven. The farther one travels, the less one knows. The less one knows. Without going out your door, you can know all the things on earth. Without looking out of your window, you can know the ways of heaven. And then it goes on, and then you've got arrive without travelling, see all without looking, see all without looking. Quite a profound lyric, actually. Quite deep. I think, can't remember offhand where he got it. I think from the Bhagavad Gita, I think, from memory. I should have researched it better. But yes, it's quite a lovely song and quite a nice lyric. I believe they were recorded in India. Some Indian musicians. Yeah, he had a session in India that he booked and recorded. When recorded some ragas, and actually that was ragas for Inner Light. So quite a nice song. So yeah, I love it. One of my favourite B-sides actually. That and Rain, among others. Okay. So question number, and there's a part 2 of that. A lyric that makes you cringe. Unfortunately, I'm going to go with a song from Beatles for Sale, because I don't think it's aged very well lyrically. The song is No Reply. But essentially, I'm not going to go into the lyric, but essentially, it's very stalkerish in tone. About a guy pretty much following an ex-girlfriend, and I suppose to the point of harassing her, and and especially with somebody else, yeah, a bit worrisome, a bit troublesome in this day and age, I would think, So, yeah, I don't think it'll pass muster today. The tone of the song doesn't actually belies the darkness of the lyrics, but then see the first 3 songs on that are fairly remote anyway. You've got No Reply, Babies in Black, I'm a Loser, and then you've also got I Don't Want to Spoil the Party on there as well. So there's some rather darkish sort of tones on that album. And here they are looking rather shagged out anyway, 1964, in the 1964. And I've spoken about that year and what kind of year they had, and it's no wonder they look rather shagged out. Anyway, there's that. So that's that one. Question 4. 3 Beatles books. Now, I've got, as you can probably see back there, I've got a heap of books, and I could have picked out any number. I was going to do recording the Beatles, but Maggie beat me to it, and I particularly wanted to show the poster that came with it. I took it to England. I didn't have the book. I took it to England. I actually went to the recording of the Beatles at Abbey Road in 2014, the very last one. And I met Kevin Ryan, Brian Cahoon, the guys who wrote that book, and Ken Scott, engineer extraordinaire, and they all graciously signed the poster for me. I was going to show that poster there, but again, Maggie beat me to talking about that book. It's a brilliant book, all the same. One of the other books I've got that Patricia mentioned was Beatles Gear, which I got for my birthday a few years back. Mine is a white cover. Here's a black cover. So I think mine might be a later print. But the books I want to talk about are, firstly, 20 years ago today, The Making of Sgt. Pepper, right, Summer of Love, sorry, by George Martin. A great book about the making of the album itself. I learned so much from this book, particularly about indie music, particularly about the instrumentation of indie music and what it all means and how it's used, particularly where the sitar replicates the vocal. It's something I did not know, but then when you listen to things like Norwegian Wood and Love You Too and Within You Without You and also The Inner Light, you'll hear that thing where the sitar and the vocal are actually are the same tone, the same passage, the way they play it. the sitar is replicating the vocal. So that's a really great book. I love that one. Another one I got was a rather novel one that my son gave me for a birthday. That was the Beatles in 100 Objects. That's really quite a nice book. I will admit that I haven't read it, but it talks about different items. Please Believe Me album, Parlophone promo card, Learning German work visa. There's different things in here that I'll show like that. Quite a nice one. Okay, I will admit that I haven't read this. I probably should take it to the hospital and read it. Give me something to do. I've got a couple of books I want to take with me, but I probably should take this one if I'm going to read something. But yeah, my son will be saying, "Yeah, Dad, take it to the hospital." That time, ready to go, invite. Yeah, some really interesting things in this thing. So that's Beatles in 100 Objects. And then another book, which I can say quite proudly that I contributed to. A couple of gentlemen named Samuel Cumans from Belgium and Aging Malt Maker from the Netherlands had compiled this series of single books from around the world and from Europe, and also the EP. There's 4 volumes of this. Okay, this is the volume 2. This is the singles from around the world. I can proudly say that my name is in this book because I contributed some scans on the Australian portion of it. So I'm not bragging, but it's a really cool thing to see an name print. So I don't think I'm there under Australia. You can see it. But anyway, yeah. It's a really cool thing. It actually inspired me to write my own book, which I've done, but I've not published it. Wrote about the Australian discography. This is about singles, Beatles singles from around the world, from the rest of the world outside of Europe, South America, Southeast Asia, Australia, New Zealand, the USA as well. Some really exotic things there. These are actually these aren't the singles, these are actually the EPs, not the singles. So that's the Australian EPs there as well. So I'll just write that up like that. So not straight. But yeah, these are really nice books. I think they may be out of print. They've actually expanded on these or released a whole swag of books about each country individually. So yeah, but I'm happy to call Sam a friend of mine. That's Sam in the back there. That's Sam and Aging at the back. Aging has a museum, a Beatle museum in Alkmaar in Holland. Worth a look if you're ever in Holland. Beautiful museum. I think it's been moved a couple of times, but I believe there's an Elvis part of it as well. That's a great book. That's a great series of books. I think they're out of print, but if you can find them, thoroughly recommended. They may be a little bit out of date, because Sam does keep finding things. He keeps adding more to his collection. He's got the most amazing 45s collection I've ever seen of the Beatles alone. Just incredible. Okay, so a lot of these come from his own collection. It's not all of them. Okay, there's that. Okay, so one of the other books I'll share this one as well. That's the Beatles illustrated lyrics. I actually quoted the Idolite from. That's an illustrated book of Beatles lyrics. Very nice. Edited by Alan Aldridge. Very nice book indeed. Okay, so number 5. Did I buy any anthology items? Did I involve myself in it? Yes, I did. Ended up with the CD box. I really wanted to get the LP box, but I couldn't justify the cost. I've got the anthologies 1, 2 and 3 on vinyl, as well on CD as well. My concession to it was I wanted volume 4, and because they've been remastered, I mean the remaster on CD is enough for me. I can't really justify spending $600 on remastered outtakes and the like. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, these are nice, don't get me wrong. They do sound pretty good. Particularly they cleaned up a lot of the older recordings, and the volume 4 is an interesting volume on that. And the covers have been redone. The booklets are pretty much the same as they were on the original release, but this is my one concession to it. I do want to get, if I'm going to do anything on vinyl, I'm probably going to get Anthology 4, which I will eventually do. Haven't got it yet, and maybe I'm waiting for a price drop. It's there, you know, I want to get it eventually, but you know, it's not something I have to panic over. So Anthology box set, there's that. Number 6 is I'm going to swap number 6 out. It was originally a Nama song that you would like, a solo song that you would like the Beatles to have done a band version of it. I'm not going to go with that one. I'm going to instead go with, do I have any EPs? And if so, show one or two. So I'm going to show a couple that they relate to. Yeah, that's a foreign one. So first I'm going to show a French EP, Les Beatles, got Roll Over Beethoven, Beethoven, Really Got a Hold on Me, Boys and Let Me Do. Basically it's with the Beatles, Please Please Me era EP. I think it's on the orange label. Look. Yeah, it's got an orange loading label. Owned by Jeanette Miles. Okay, so a good Jeanette Miles name is on the record. In Providence there. I kind of don't mind seeing names on there. There's a bit of history involved there. It's got CSIRO. There's an address which I can't read on the back there. Yeah. So, but anyway, this is a French Beatle EP. I think it's from 63, 64. Right. So there's that one. And then an Australian EP, also with the Beatles, called With the Beatles. Right. It's got what was the Australian LP cover. Devil in a Heart, Not a Second Time, It Won't Be Long, Don't Bother Me. On this is an original Australian. Got the Leeds Music logos on there, 4 originals. George Harrison was published by Leeds Music at the time, or Leeds in Australia, which became eventually Lord and Songs took over the publishing here. But that's from about 1964, that EP. Again, that was the Australian LP cover. Let me show you that was there. Show a bit of light on that, shining on. It's a gloss cover on that. So there's those two. Okay. So number 7, show a coloured vinyl or picture disc. Coloured vinyl. Okay, so that's going to be my Australian Sgt. Pepper from 1980, I believe 1982. That's a red vinyl. There were 3 coloured vinyl LPs issued at the time. There was one, a yellow vinyl, yellow submarine, a white vinyl, white album, and of course the red vinyl of Sgt. Pepper. That's on the black silver label. In fact, the white album and the yellow submarine were both also on Parlophone by that time. It's got the insert as well, but it hasn't got the original inner bag that was supplied with it back in the day. I'm going to put that up in there. So yeah, that's the red vinyl. They all came with a coloured vinyl label on there. This is a stereo, of course. By the time it's only got the one number on the back. So yeah, that's the, and in fact it's even, oh yeah, but this is stereo recording on the back too. So yeah, that's the Sgt. Pepper from 1982. That's a bit faded as well. It's 82. Anyway, it was on 82 these were made. Okay. So yeah, I might be wrong about the year. I'm quite sure it was 82. Alright, so there's those. Coloured vinyl, okay. Number 8, if you're condemned to listen to only one Beatles comp for your rest of your life, what would it be? Also meant for the mention Inner Light, which also appears on Past Masters. I was going to pick that as the comp to choose from, but then I worked out, no, I can kind of cheat. There was a compilation released called the Beatle Box. My beautiful partner Kate got me this, and another copy of the box. Gave it to me today actually. It's actually a late Christmas present. It's a really beautiful thought. I'm quite gobsmacked that she got me this for me, that she sourced it for me. This is the Reader's Digest version, so it's a third press, Australian, but it's 124 tracks. For those that do know about this box, it's got all the individual sleeves as well. I will say that the only little minor thing about this is that whoever organised the covers for these kind of got the sleeves wrong. They got them kind of out of order, but just for the music that included in the sleeves. That's one. Two. So that's from 65. But the music on here is from 64. That's Help era. That's pretty accurate. Yeah. This one probably should have been the first one. That's number 4. Well, this one probably could have been the first one as well. That's 63 era. That's number 5. This is number 6. This is Sgt. Pepper era. So that's fairly spot on. Yeah, that's all Sgt. Pepper material. Like mixed material in here. Number 7 is, yes, fairly accurate as well, but I think that could have been number 8 as well. Hello Goodbye, that's 68. White Album, Yellow Submarine era. And number 8, which is the last, again that's Sgt. Pepper era photo. So I think maybe they could have swapped a couple of pictures around. So whoever came up with the idea of these pictures probably could have researched the order a bit better. But that's a minor quibble. That's a wonderful series. There's some real oddities in this set. I think like the 6-tap intro on My Loving, the Whispering I think on I Feel Fine. There's a few odd tunes here that appear in here that don't appear elsewhere, or that you'll find. So yeah, there's a booklet there that actually details what they are. Anyway, that's that. Okay, so that's a slide sheet. It's 8 LPs, it's 124 tracks, but that would do me if I had to listen to one compilation only, if I couldn't listen to anything else apart from that one compilation. But that's a very broad spectrum of music in there. Okay, number 9. Where are we? Trying to name an underrated Beatles song. Yes, so I'm going to read my writing company. I wrote these things rather quickly. I'm going to go with Nowhere Man. Now I'm going to show these because Nowhere Man was actually a single here in Australia, with Norwegian Wood at the B-side. In America, it was a single with What Goes On Capitol over there. I don't know exactly offhand anywhere else where this particular 45 appeared anywhere in the world, this pairing. But I grew up with this as a 45. We had this when we were growing up. Great song. I've become to appreciate it even more lately. I love the short, sharp guitar solo on here. I don't know that it's underrated so much. I think it could be. I think it gets due, but compared to some of the other tracks on Rubber Soul, and it is from Rubber Soul. But okay, I've got Rubber Soul right here, like so. It's the fourth track on Rubber Soul. In America, it appeared on Yesterday and Today, otherwise known as the Butcher cover, for those that have it. But yeah, Nowhere Man, I think is, I don't know if you can call it underrated so much, but I think maybe it doesn't get a due that it should, because that guitar solo, short and sharp and to the point, great guitar solo. Anyway, leave that. Okay, so so that's that one. So number 10, show a foreign Beatles 45 with a cool picture sleeve. I'm going to show that's Beatles Italian 45 of No Reply and Babies in Black on the Parlophone label. And apparently the reason it's Parlophone is because I think the story is that when they designed the logo, they designed it too big and the E wouldn't fit on the end. From what I understand. I guess I think that might be correct. If I'm wrong, please tell me. But I understand that might be the reason why that it's like that. This is a bit beaten up. I think it plays better than it looks. Someone named Valieri Icavaro, again, it's signed by someone on there. Yeah, an Italian gentleman. A gentleman or a lady, I'm not sure. Can't tell. Anyway, those that know Italian, maybe you can translate that for me, if you can read it. Okay, but that's a nice cover. It's a beautiful cover. Both tracks from it. No Reply and Babies in Black. I think they're actually the first and third track. I just talked about them actually about 5 minutes ago. Anyway, that's that. Okay, and I think there was also show a foreign. Another question I'm going to come up with was show a foreign 45. That's that one. There was another one, but actually I'll show that one as well. That's another EP. That's a French EP of Hard Day Night, Chants on the film Four Guys that songs dans le vent. Essentially the Hard Day Night EP, songs from the film, the same track listing, Hard Day Night, Should Know Better, Tell Me Why, and Oliver. Actually no, the Hard Day Night EP didn't have a Hard Day Night on it, now that I think about it. But anyway, that's that one. Orange label. I believe it's not original. So yeah, quite a nice one. So yeah, there we go. With the back sleeve, promoting other 45s, the other EPs. I understand in France it was mainly EPs. I might be wrong. Anyway, there you go. So that's another French EP. As I said, the film is called Four Garçons dans le Monde. That's what it's called in France. So there you go. So there you have it. That's the that's that one. So I don't think there's any more that I think I've covered it all. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you stay with me, it's pushing 30 minutes. Thank you very much for doing that. I hope you're all well, and stay safe. And if you like this video, hit like and subscribe. Ring that bell for notification, and and please leave a comment if you like what you see. I'll always answer your comments. Okay, I think I've got one more video I'm going to do, which is the Vinyl Tag 2026, which I'm going to do hopefully tomorrow before I go into hospital, but we shall see. Okay, thank you guys, and wherever you are in the world, good evening, good morning, good night, take care, stay safe over there, okay? Take care guys, bye.